Yo and hello. Um, this will be hopefully a shorter video about copper market. Um, so copper's been again very interesting. This is a market that I've been heavily active in. Kind of rode down pretty much, from 385 down to whatever that was 37, 313. I was expecting for it to go to 310, but basically I got out about 321 or so. Just because the market started to like with this big bar, I just figured to take my profits. You know. No need to be too greedy. And this leg of the trade, I didn't take any kind of big position. It was just some options on copper. So anyway, still a good trade. Now again, what the expectation was, as you said before, that somewhere around 310 or so, we should expect some kind of a um, market the price to come down there and kind of slow down, right? Because between 310 or so and 280 or so, there has been a bit of congestion, right? Sometime back, what is this on 2020, late 2020, and so based off of that, given that when something like copper really moves, they really move, especially when they really move down, and with the higher dollar, with other markets also facing the same problem as the U.S. market, which is inflation. In fact, some of these markets were behind, with Europe getting like blasted because of their own policy that are just like bad, and I don't know, they're committing seppuku uh, for uh, for basically who knows why. I mean, it's stupid reasons. I don't want to go in that rabbit hole, but the point being that there's with lesser projection of economic activity, what ends up happening is that copper, which is kind of like a thermometer for um, for economic activity, basically, because if you want to do any kind of work, you need copper. So basically, when it started to go down, that was a good trade to be in. It's possibly as good of a trade as you can be, technically speaking, fundamentally speaking, with the momentum and with the strength that went down, right? And yeah, so I was, put some small positions at the beginning, but once it broke like 385 or so, I started to kind of like put a bigger position because um, sometimes you don't want to necessarily like short it at the beginning right away, or buy it right at the bottom because you want the market to prove itself. So, but the gist of it is that basically my expectation was the price to kind of come down and maybe do a bounce and then come down again. This is the process, right? Because it's hitting a zone where we should be finding some buyers, because there's going to be buyers from way back who believes this is a uh, good place to buy in, right? So, and that's basically happened, but not 310 exactly. It's like 313. And I'm not gonna be nickel and diming the market, so I figured, it's close enough, right, for a couple of hours on was it 15th, Friday. It went down to 313, and it is what it is. After it went down, it kind of stayed, kind of based around and then started to move up. And basically, uh, you know, I don't want to stay because essentially you have like this, almost like this head and shoulders, a bad head and shoulders, really, right? So you have this big giant bar, you have this breakages of this line here, right? This resistance line, and right here there's another level here, you know, and so right there. So let's see if it actually breaks up to the upside. Again, with so many bad news, I would expect the market to go down again, still at a important zone here, Now with the earnings, and the market kind of going sideways, this also might going sideways. But depending on where copper is going, that will clue us in as to where the market's headed. Right now, given the fact that you look like it's in between these ranges here, so still it's going to be, kind of a expectation is that it's still in a bear market, right? This is a very bearish chart. You have kind of this line that it kind of went down and but didn't go down too much. This high is higher than this high, so currently speaking, it's basically kind of trendless market. However, you have to wait for it to prove itself whether it's going to be trending again or not. Seemingly, it should be trending down because it broke this line. It's now touching this like resistance level here, based off an intraday moves. That's not necessarily based off a hourly move. You can see the intraday. This is an important area, which is like 333 or so. Then you have 3-4 right there. You could also take 334 to be a little bit more safer. It's up to you. Again, I'm not a technical analysis Nazi, but hopefully get the gist of it. So yeah, so copper, something to take a look at and wait to see what happens before anyone puts a position in. But once it makes a move, once it breaks, we should see some good move. Um, so anyway, so yeah, copper still a bearish market in my opinion. 313, it only had one touch. We should be seeing it down again. If it's not able to break through 310, then maybe it has more or less kind of like, at least for now, kind of petered out, right? But if it breaks 310, we should expect quite a bit of fighting between 310 and 280. Um, anyway, I'll just leave it with that. Copper's still a great trade. Still something to be traded, I would think, for the next like months. So anyway, I'll leave you with that. Hope to see you guys later on, and happy trading.